There are moments in life that divide your entire existence into before and after. Moments so seismic that everything you thought you knew about yourself, your family, your entire identity gets shattered in a single sentence. For me, that moment came on Thanksgiving Day, in front of 20 relatives over an argument about cranberry sauce. My mother looked at me across the dining table, her face red with anger, and screamed, "Well, maybe if you weren't adopted, you'd understand how this family actually works." The room went silent. Forks stopped midair. Conversations died. Everyone turned to look at me, then at my mother, then back at me, and in that moment, my entire life became a lie. My name is Sophie Bennett, or at least that's the name I've used for 27 years. I don't know what my birth name was. I don't know who I really am, because my mother dropped that bomb on Thanksgiving to win an argument about whether cranberry sauce should be homemade or canned. And in doing so, she destroyed everything I thought I knew about my family, my identity, and my place in the world. This is the story of what happened next, of how I discovered the truth, of how my family fell apart, and of how I learned that sometimes the people who raise you are the ones who hurt you most. Growing up, I always felt different in my family, not in a dramatic, obvious way, just small things that never quite added up. My parents, Michael and Linda Bennett, both had dark hair and brown eyes. I was blonde with blue eyes. They were both short. My dad was 5'7", my mom 5'3". I was 5'9" by the time I was 15. They told me I took after my dad's mother, who'd apparently been tall and blonde. I accepted that explanation because what else was I supposed to do? Question whether my parents were lying to me? I had two siblings. My older brother, Chris, was 30 when this all happened, and my younger sister, Emma, was 24. Chris looked exactly like my dad, same dark hair, same build, same mannerisms. Emma was a carbon copy of my mom. And then there was me, looking like I'd been dropped into the wrong family photo. But I never questioned it, not really. I just assumed genetics were weird and I'd gotten some recessive genes or something. My parents loved me, at least I thought they did. They came to my school events, helped me with homework, celebrated my birthdays. Sure, there were moments when I felt like they treated Chris and Emma differently, more warmly maybe, more naturally, but I chalked that up to being the middle child, the overlooked one, the one who had to work harder for attention. As I got older, the differences became more pronounced. Chris was the golden child, athletic, charismatic, successful. He went to law school, married his high school sweetheart, had two perfect kids. My parents worshipped him. Emma was the baby, and even though she was an adult, she could do no wrong in their eyes. She dropped out of college twice, bounced between jobs, still lived at home at 24, and they treated her like she was just finding herself. And then there was me. I graduated with honors, got a master's degree in education, became a high school teacher, bought my own apartment, did everything right, and somehow I was still the one they criticized, the one who never quite measured up. When I got engaged to my boyfriend Ryan, I was so excited to tell my family. Ryan and I had been together for 3 years. He was kind, stable, supportive, everything I'd ever wanted. I called my parents, and my mom's response was lukewarm at best. "Oh, that's nice. Have you set a date?" When Chris got engaged, they'd thrown him and his fiancée an elaborate engagement party. For me, that's nice. I tried not to let it bother me, tried to tell myself that they were just busy, that they'd shown their excitement differently. But it hurt. It always hurt. Thanksgiving was always a big deal in our family. My parents hosted every year, and the entire extended family came. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. Usually around 20 to 25 people crammed into their dining room and living room. This particular Thanksgiving, Ryan was coming for the first time as my fiancé. I was nervous but excited. I wanted my family to see what I saw in him, this wonderful man who actually valued me, who thought I was enough exactly as I was. We arrived early to help with preparations. My mom was in the kitchen, stressed and snapping at everyone. This was normal. She always got worked up about hosting, about making everything perfect. I offered to help make the cranberry sauce. My mom had always made it from scratch. Fresh cranberries, orange juice, sugar, the whole thing simmered on the stove. It was one of her signature dishes. But this year, she seemed overwhelmed, so I suggested, Mom, why don't we just use canned this year? It would save you time, and honestly, it tastes pretty similar. I said it casually, helpfully. I wasn't trying to criticize her, I was trying to make her life easier. But she turned on me like I'd just insulted her entire existence. Canned? You think I should serve canned cranberry sauce? I just meant you seem stressed and it might be one less thing to worry about. I've been making homemade cranberry sauce for 30 years. I'm not going to start serving canned garbage just because you think it's good enough. I backed off, apologized, helped with other things, but I could feel the tension, could feel her anger simmering just below the surface. When everyone arrived for dinner, things seemed okay. Ryan was being his charming self, talking to my relatives, fitting in seamlessly. We sat down for dinner, 23 people around the extended table. My dad said grace. We started passing dishes. And then someone, I think it was my aunt, complimented the cranberry sauce. Linda, this is delicious. You make the best cranberry sauce. My mom beamed. Then she looked at me. Sophie wanted me to serve canned. It should have been a joke, a light teasing moment, but there was an edge to her voice, a challenge. I laughed it off. I just thought it might save you some time, that's all. Because my homemade cranberry sauce isn't good enough for you? Mom, I didn't say that. I love your cranberry sauce. You've always been critical, always thought you knew better than everyone else. The table was getting uncomfortable now. People were looking down at their plates, suddenly very interested in their turkey. Ryan squeezed my hand under the table. I haven't been critical. I was trying to help. Help? You don't help. You judge. You've always judged this family, looked down on us because you think you're so much better with your fancy degree and your teaching job. I felt my face flush. Mom, that's not fair. I've never looked down on anyone. You walked around this house for years, acting like you were too good for us, like you were different, special. I never acted like that. Yes, you did. You never fit in. You were never really one of us. The words hung in the air. You were never really one of us. My chest tightened. Chris jumped in, trying to diffuse. Mom, come on, it's Thanksgiving. Let's not do this. But my mom was on a roll now. Years of something, resentment maybe, or anger I'd never understood, pouring out of her. No, I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of acting like Sophie is the same as the rest of you when she's not. She's always been different, always been difficult, always been a reminder of... She stopped herself, looked around the table at all the faces staring at her. I could see her deciding something, could see her making a choice that would change everything. A reminder of what, Mom? I asked quietly. She met my eyes, and I saw something in her face that I'd never seen before. Not anger, not frustration, but something closer to cruelty, like she wanted to hurt me, like she'd been waiting for this moment. A reminder that you're not actually my daughter. You're adopted. We took you in when you were 3 days old because I couldn't have more children after Chris, and honestly, it was the biggest mistake we ever made. The room exploded. Everyone started talking at once. My grandmother gasped. My aunt said, Linda, what are you doing? Chris stood up, knocking over his water glass. Emma started crying. Ryan's hand tightened around mine so hard it hurt. And I just sat there, frozen, unable to process what I'd just heard. Adopted? I was adopted, and my mother had just told me in front of 23 people during Thanksgiving dinner to win an argument about cranberry sauce. I don't remember standing up, don't remember walking out of the house. Ryan told me later that I just got up, grabbed my coat, and left. He followed me. We sat in his car in my parents' driveway for I don't know how long. I was shaking, but I couldn't cry, couldn't speak, couldn't think. Inside the house, I could see shapes moving behind the curtains. I could hear raised voices. My family, probably having the conversation they should have had 27 years ago. But they hadn't. They'd lied to me. My entire life was a lie. Ryan drove me to my apartment, helped me inside, made me tea that I didn't drink, sat with me on the couch while I stared at the wall. "Sophie," he finally said gently, "talk to me. I don't know what to say. Say anything, scream, cry, break something. Just don't sit here in silence. I'm adopted." Saying it out loud made it real. She told me I'm adopted in front of everyone to win an argument. That was cruel, unforgivably cruel. Why would she do that? Why would she tell me like that? I don't know, baby. I don't know. My phone started ringing. I'd left it in my purse, and now it was going off constantly. Calls from my dad, from Chris, from Emma, from aunts and uncles, text messages pouring in. I turned it off. I couldn't deal with it. Not yet. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of my childhood through this new lens. Every time my parents had seemed distant, every time I'd felt different, every time I'd wondered why I didn't look like anyone in my family, it all made sense now. They'd lied to me. For 27 years, they'd lied to me. And worse, my entire extended family had known. All those aunts and uncles, grandparents, cousins, they'd all known I was adopted and no one had ever told me. The next morning, my dad showed up at my apartment. I almost didn't let him in, but Ryan convinced me I needed to hear him out. My dad looked awful, like he hadn't slept either. He sat down on my couch and immediately started crying. "Sophie, I am so sorry. What your mother did, there's no excuse for it. She was angry and she lashed out and she shouldn't have told you that way. But Sophie, you have to understand. We love you. We've always loved you. You lied to me. We didn't lie. We didn't tell you. That's the same thing, Dad. You let me grow up thinking I was your biological daughter. You let me believe a lie. We were going to tell you when you were older, when you could understand. I'm 27 years old. When was I going to be old enough?" He didn't have an answer for that. "Why did you adopt me, and why did you keep it a secret?" He took a deep breath. "After Chris was born, your mother had complications. She couldn't have more children. We wanted a big family, so we decided to adopt. We got you when you were 3 days old. Your birth mother was 17, couldn't keep you. We were so happy, so grateful to have you. But it was harder than we thought. You were different from Chris, different needs, different personality. And your mother, she struggled to bond with you the way she had with Chris. Then, when you were 2, she got pregnant with Emma. It was a miracle. The doctors had said it was impossible. And after Emma was born, everything changed. She didn't want me anymore. No, Sophie, that's not... Dad, don't lie to me. Not now. She treated me differently my whole life. I always felt it. I just didn't know why." He was crying harder now. "I tried to make it better. I tried to love you enough for both of us. But you're right. Your mother, she always saw you as the child she had to take, not the child she chose. And when Emma came along, you became a reminder of when she thought she couldn't have biological children. I know it's not fair. I know it's wrong, but that's the truth. Does Chris know? Emma? Chris has always known. He was 4 when we got you. Emma found out when she was a teenager. We made them promise not to tell you. We wanted to tell you ourselves when the time was right." So everyone knew except me. Everyone in that room yesterday knew that I was adopted, and no one ever thought to tell me the truth. We thought we were protecting you. Protecting me? Dad, you destroyed me. I don't even know who I am anymore. We talked for another hour. He told me what little he knew about my birth mother. Her first name was Jennifer. She was 17 when she had me. The adoption was closed, so he didn't have much information. He told me how sorry he was, how much he loved me, how this didn't change anything. But it changed everything. He left eventually, promised to give me space, but begged me to stay in contact. I told him I needed time. Over the next few days, the story spread through my extended family. Some people reached out to apologize for keeping the secret. Some tried to justify it. Your parents thought they were doing the right thing. Some sent messages saying I was overreacting, that I should be grateful I was adopted at all. That last group got blocked immediately. Chris called me. We'd always had a decent relationship, but it was complicated by the fact that he was so clearly our parents' favorite. Sophie, I'm sorry I never told you. I wanted to, so many times, but Mom and Dad made me promise. You could have told me anyway. You're 30 years old, Chris. You've been an adult for 12 years. You could have told me the truth at any point. I know, and I should have. I was a coward. I didn't want to be the one to blow up the family. Well, Mom beat you to it. She's a mess right now. She knows she screwed up. She wants to talk to you. I don't want to talk to her. Maybe ever. Sophie, come on. She's still your mom. Is she, though? Because she spent 27 years lying to me, treating me like I was less than, making me feel like I didn't belong. And now I know why. Because she never really wanted me. That's not true. Yes, it is, and you know it. You've always known it. Emma called too. She was sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. Sophie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I found out when I was 16 and it killed me keeping it from you. But Mom said if I told you, she'd kick me out. I was scared. I was a kid. I'm sorry. I softened a little with Emma. She was only 24 now, which meant she'd been carrying this secret since she was 16. It's okay, Em. I'm not mad at you. I love you. You're my sister. That's never going to change. I love you too. But even as I said it, I wondered if it was true. Was she really my sister? We didn't share blood. We'd shared a childhood, sure, but one that had been built on lies. I started seeing a therapist. Dr. Martinez specialized in adoption trauma and identity issues. She helped me understand that what I was feeling, the anger, the grief, the sense of betrayal, was all normal. Your parents took away your right to know your own story, she said. They made a choice that was about their comfort, not your well-being, and now you're dealing with the consequences. I don't even know who I am anymore, I told her. You're the same person you were before you knew. Your personality, your achievements, your relationships, none of that has changed. But my history has, my genetics, my biological family, everything I thought I knew about where I came from is gone. That's true, but you have the opportunity now to discover the truth, to find out who your birth family is, if that's what you want, to reclaim your story. I don't know if I want to. What if they're worse than the family I have now? What if my birth mother doesn't want to know me? Those are valid fears, but living in ignorance isn't going to make you feel better either. You deserve to know the truth about where you came from. She was right. I hired a private investigator, gave him the limited information my dad had provided. Birth mother's first name was Jennifer. I was born at St. Mary's Hospital. The adoption was handled by Catholic Charities. It took him 2 weeks to find her. Jennifer Morrison. She'd been 17 when she had me. She was 44 now, married, living in Oregon with 3 kids, my half-siblings. The investigator gave me her contact information and asked what I wanted to do with it. I sat on it for a week, staring at her Facebook profile, at pictures of her with her husband and kids, at this whole life she'd built without me. Did I want to disrupt that? Did I have the right? Finally, I sent her a message, kept it simple. My name is Sophie Bennett. I was born on March 15th at St. Mary's Hospital and adopted through Catholic Charities. I believe you might be my birth mother. I'm not looking to disrupt your life. I just want to know where I came from. If you're willing to talk, I'd appreciate it. She responded within an hour. Sophie, oh my God, I've thought about you every single day for 27 years. Yes, I'm your birth mother. I would love to talk to you. We arranged a video call for the following weekend. When her face appeared on my screen, I gasped. She looked like me, or rather, I looked like her. Same blonde hair, same blue eyes, same facial structure. For the first time in my life, I was looking at someone who shared my genetics, someone I looked like. I started crying before either of us said a word. "Sophie," Jennifer said, tears streaming down her face, "you're so beautiful. You look just like my mother, your grandmother." "Tell me everything," I said. "I need to know everything." She told me her story. She'd gotten pregnant at 16 by her boyfriend, who'd immediately bailed when he found out. Her parents were devout Catholics and wouldn't let her get an abortion. They sent her to live with her aunt during the pregnancy to avoid embarrassing the family. She gave birth to me at 17 and held me for exactly 20 minutes before the social worker took me away. It was a closed adoption. She wasn't given any information about the family who adopted me. She'd spent the last 27 years wondering if I was okay, if I was loved, if I had a good life. "I wanted to keep you," she sobbed. "I wanted to so badly, but I was 17, broke, with no support system. My parents made it clear I couldn't come home with a baby. I thought adoption was the right choice. I thought you'd go to a family who'd love you and give you everything I couldn't." They did love me, sort of. It's complicated. I told her everything, about growing up feeling different, about my mother's coldness, about Thanksgiving dinner and the adoption reveal, about feeling like I never belonged. Jennifer listened, crying the whole time. "I'm so sorry you went through that," she said when I finished. "I'm so sorry you went through that. I thought if I gave you up, you'd have the perfect life, the perfect family. I never imagined. It wasn't your fault. You made the choice you thought was best. I'd like to get to know you, if you want that. I've missed 27 years. I don't want to miss any more." "I'd like that too." Over the next few months, Jennifer and I talked regularly. I flew to Oregon to meet her in person, to meet my half-siblings, a brother who was 22, twin sisters who were 19. They welcomed me with open arms, treated me like I'd always been part of the family. Jennifer told me about my biological father. His name was Kyle. He'd gone on to have his own family. She'd tracked him down years ago out of curiosity. She offered to facilitate contact if I wanted it. I told her I'd think about it. For the first time in my life, I felt like I understood where I came from, like I had answers to questions I'd been asking my whole life without even realizing it. I looked like Jennifer. I had her personality, creative, emotional, empathetic. I had her grandmother's height and her great-aunt's artistic ability. I wasn't a genetic anomaly dropped into the wrong family. I was Jennifer's daughter, and that made sense in ways nothing else had. My relationship with my adoptive family was disintegrating. My mother never apologized, not really. She sent me a text 2 weeks after Thanksgiving that said, "I'm sorry I told you that way, but you would have found out eventually. Can we please move past this?" I didn't respond. My dad kept trying to bridge the gap, but he was trapped in the middle. He knew what my mother had done was unforgivable, but she was his wife. Chris tried to play mediator, but he was too loyal to our parents to really call them out. Emma was the only one who fully supported me. She'd moved out of my parents' house finally, got her own apartment, and started standing up to Mom for the first time in her life. 6 months after Thanksgiving, I legally changed my name. Kept Sophie because that's who I'd always been, but changed Bennett to Morrison, Jennifer's last name, my birth mother's name. When my adoptive parents found out, my mother called me screaming, "How dare you, after everything we did for you?" "Everything you did for me? You lied to me for 27 years and then told me I was adopted in the cruelest way possible to win an argument. We gave you a home, we raised you, we loved you. No, you didn't. You tolerated me. And the second I didn't behave exactly how you wanted, you weaponized my adoption against me. You told me I was the biggest mistake you ever made, in front of 23 people. I was angry. Being angry doesn't give you the right to destroy someone. You destroyed me that day, Mom. You took away my right to know who I am, and when I finally found out, it was in the most humiliating way possible. You didn't protect me. You didn't love me. You used me as a verbal punching bag, and I'm done. I'm done pretending we have a normal mother-daughter relationship when we never did. So that's it? You're just going to cut us out of your life? You cut me out a long time ago. I just finally realized it." I hung up, blocked her number, blocked my dad's number too, because he kept trying to guilt me into reconciling. Kept Emma in my life because she'd proven herself to be the only member of that family who actually cared about me. Chris and I texted occasionally, but our relationship was strained. He couldn't understand why I was so angry, kept saying they did their best. But their best had involved lying to me, treating me like I was less than, and then destroying me publicly when I dared to question them. Ryan and I got married a year later. Jennifer walked me down the aisle. My half-siblings were bridesmaids and groomsmen. My adoptive family was not invited. My mother sent me a letter on my wedding day, delivered to the venue. It said, "I hope you're happy now that you've destroyed this family. We loved you, and this is how you repay us." I threw it away without finishing it. On my wedding day, surrounded by people who actually loved me, who celebrated me, who saw me as enough exactly as I am, I realized something. I'd spent 27 years trying to earn love from people who were never going to give it, trying to fit into a family that had never made space for me. And in doing so, I'd missed out on the family I actually belonged to. Jennifer told me at the reception, her eyes shining with tears, "I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful I get to be part of your life now." And I realized that's what I'd been missing. Someone who was proud of me, someone who was grateful for me, not someone who saw me as a burden or a mistake or a reminder of their own inadequacies, someone who actually wanted me. Here's what I learned from all of this. Family isn't about blood. It's about love, respect, and showing up. My adoptive parents had my blood legally erased when they adopted me, but they never gave me the love that was supposed to replace it. They gave me a home, food, education, the basics, but they never gave me belonging. They never made me feel like I was theirs in any meaningful way. And when it came down to it, when my mother was angry and wanted to hurt me, she used my adoption as a weapon. That tells you everything you need to know about how she really felt. Jennifer, on the other hand, has spent the last 3 years proving to me every single day that I matter, that I'm wanted, that she regrets giving me up and is grateful for this second chance. She's not trying to replace 27 lost years. She's just trying to be present for all the years we have left. And that's enough. That's more than enough. I'm 30 years old now. I have a good life, a husband who loves me, a career I'm proud of, a biological family who actually wants me. I've healed from a lot of the damage my adoptive family did, though Dr. Martinez reminds me that healing isn't linear. Some days I'm angry, some days I'm sad, some days I'm just grateful that I finally know the truth. To anyone out there who's adopted and doesn't know it, you have the right to your own story. You have the right to know where you came from. And if your adoptive parents kept that from you, they were wrong. They weren't protecting you. They were protecting themselves. And to anyone who's been told they're adopted in a cruel way, used as an emotional punching bag by the people who were supposed to love you, you deserved better. You deserved parents who celebrated you, who made you feel like you belonged, who never made you question whether you were wanted. I'm sorry you didn't get that, but I promise you there are people out there who will love you the way you deserve to be loved. Sometimes you just have to go find them. My name is Sophie Morrison. I was adopted at 3 days old and didn't find out until I was 27 when my adoptive mother told me during Thanksgiving dinner to win an argument about cranberry sauce. She told me I was the biggest mistake she ever made, in front of 20 people. And you know what? She was right about one thing. I was never really one of them, because I deserved better. And I finally found it.